This
Good morning, ma'am.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, good morning. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So, welcome to the day 4 class of MSBI of SSIS. So, today's agenda will be on the all practical knowledge of all these transformations, the derived column, sorting operation, merging operation, union all, merge join, multicast, conditional split, data conversion, aggregate, row count, copy column, import column. So these are all straightforward. So I'll cover all these in a practicals today. Okay, let's start with a derived column transformation. So in derived column transformation, what we do, we create a new column by applying some expressions over it. So we can see if we have a first name and last name in the source table as a columns, we can put it as a one more column. We can create a one more column with full name by giving an expression like this.
Okay.
First name plus, yeah. So this I'll be showing you now. And even we can extract the characters with the help of substring function. You know substring function in the SQL Server code, right? So the
Yes, ma'am.
same substring functions, the round functions, the rounding functions and all we can use here in the derived column. So what we see is in the derived column, we can even change the formats also, the data type. As we can do in data conversion, we can do the same thing in derived column also. We can even extract the date part. We can convert the date into a specific format, like from DDMMYY to MMDDYY. So the changing of a data type, the extraction part, the math calculation part, mathematical functions part, everything we can achieve in this derived column.
Okay.
Before going into the practical, one more thing I want to tell you, like so there are two aspects here for dependency and error handling. So what I meant for dependency is, so we can have multiple number of calculations, multiple number of data conversions in one single table. So we have options like we can do it in using one derived column transformation, only one derived column transformation. We can use include all the conversions, all the new columns in one task itself. We can achieve like that also. But if we do like that, then it's like we will have a problem in error handling. Because when we redirect rows, then we'll unable to know which expression is causing the error. Okay, I'll show you now. So this is what we have to keep in mind while using a derived column expression.
Okay.
See, I can have a new column like this. So I have a 4 transformations, 4 conversions here used in only one task. Okay, so when I put configure error output, right? So it will just redirect the rows, but I'll not able to trace which expression it is failing. I cannot specify.
Okay.
I cannot know which expression is failing here because I have 4 expressions. So altogether it will do overall the error output. So I cannot tell, or I cannot trace, or I cannot find out which expression it was failing in the execution. So when I put all the conversions, all the transformations in only one task, so error handling will be difficult.
Okay,
And
ma'am.
one more thing, and if I put like, if I put one more derived column here, so 3 derived columns. So we can put like this also. We can have a 3 derived columns. One expression here, one calculation here, one calculation here. So I have a 3 derived column task. Okay, so what it will do, it will slow down my package, because
Yes.
for each and every task it requires certain amount of memory. So here what it is taking here, for here we have a 3 tasks, so 3 times the memory it takes. So this will
Okay.
make slower. So when we can use this type of derived expressions, multiple task, is when we have a dependency. Like here I have created a new column. Suppose I have created a new column here. Address 1. Just drag and drop from the columns. Then put concatenation symbol, double quotes, concatenation symbol, address 2. See, once I go to the next line, it will show it in a black color. That is, it is accepted. The syntax is correct. But if I put like this, it will come it as a red color. That means the syntax is wrong. You have to change it.
Okay.
So before
Okay.
executing also, you can know that which sentence is wrong, which sentence is right. So I can put some
Okay.
column here. Full address I have kept. I'm adding as a new column. Instead of replacing any existing columns, I'm adding as a new column. Okay. And I'm
Okay.
concatenating the address line 1 plus address line 2. The length is same. I've put the same thing. Okay.
Ma'am, can
Yeah.
I change the data type here?
Yeah, I can change your data type here also. That is what I was telling. We can change the data types. If I put a new column here, anything as a, let's add as a new column.
Mm-hmm.
I can, here it is not coming. So by default, the city is Unicode
Sure.
string. That means nvarchar. In SQL Server language, it's nvarchar. Unicode string means nvarchar. So we can
Okay.
have like DW string. This
Okay.
is how we change it. This is how we need to change it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's showing error now.
Yeah, it's showing here. I think DT. Yes, DW. Still 1 minute. Okay. What is city? I think I've taken a wrong this. So this I will cover in data conversion. There we can have number of the conversion names and all, right? So I can show it from there, and again we can come back to here. So this is how we normally do. I think this is wrong. I put WSTR. Still it is showing. Let's put here anything typecast. Yeah. So it is accepting. So this end text means it's a varchar max. Here this is a varchar max
Okay.
in SQL Server. This is how we have to put it.
Okay.
Okay. So just give in a bracket, it will accept it. So this the codes, right? DT underscore end text. We have to take it from here. Otherwise, we have to remember. This is how we have to do it. So these are all the data types in SSIS languages. The IE1 is like integer one length. Integer
Okay.
one length. Integer with two length. 4, 8.
Okay.
So this is a string date. This is a Boolean numeric expression. Numeric as in we have as in SQL Server with the same thing. Numeric precision and the scale decimals. So these are the bytes. Here we will get only database time itself, database time stamp, database date itself without any time. Is the image. This is just a text. This is NVARCHAR text.
Okay.
So code page is what I have shown you yesterday. The code page is dependent on the format of the source file. Okay. Whether it is coming in ASCII, whether it is coming in a UTF-8 format or it's the format
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the, okay. So this is how we can convert here the expressions. Now, here I want to so what I'm doing is I'm using the new column which I have derived in the earlier task.
Yes.
Okay.
First name and last name added to full add.
So
Okay.
that one I'm using. So that is what it's like. This task is dependent on this task.
Okay.
Because in this derived column, I'm using the column which is being derived in my earlier task.
Okay.
This is dependency. So
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this case, it is better to use a different task like derived column 1, derived column 2, derived column 3. It is better to use like this for the dependency.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, we can put it everything in one expressions, everything like this. In a single task, we can have a multiple expressions.
Okay.
If expressions are simple, we can do it. But if there are complex expressions, then we can separate it out, because in the error output will not trace out which expression is failing. Here we do not have that tracing. We cannot separate it which expression it is failing. Okay, so if the calculations and expressions are complex, go with a different task. Separate task for each and every expressions.
Okay, ma'am.
So if I take a destination here, okay, I need to create a new table because I have added 2 new columns. I cannot create columns here or into the database level. I have to create a table itself. I'm creating a table. So it is coming as it is taking full address which we have created in derived column as nvarchar 121, derived column as nvarchar max. So whenever there is a text in the data type in SSIS, it takes it as a max in the SQL Server. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So mapping, mapped, everything is mapped. You can just view the existing as we didn't run the load. There is no data in it. Okay.
Okay.
Just removing this.
Okay.
Yep, so it executed. Input is 960, 614 rows, and the output is also the same thing. Let's check the database now. If we got, say, full address. So can you tell why the full address data is not populated? So here we see I have concatenated, right? Address line
Yes.
1 and line 2, but I didn't get any full address without any error. Here I got it. In this case, I got
Yeah.
it. In this case, I didn't get
Yeah.
it.
Address line 2 is null. That's why it's populated as a null.
Yeah, so in the concatenation null, if any of the part is null, so the concatenation will not work. What we have to do is we have to handle it with is null operator.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to check whether the column is a nullable or not. If it is a nullable column, that means a null value can be there in that column. We have to put is null condition on that column and then concatenate it. Otherwise, if a null comes, then there will be no concatenation happen. So while concatenating, we have to make sure this one, whether those columns are nullable or non-nullable. If there are nullable columns, we have to put is null operator. Okay. Yeah, so this is fine. Now, so derived expression the same way for each and every task. We have an advanced editor. You can just check the advanced editor. Address line 1, input operations, the same thing yesterday what we have seen. Here also we can put a sorting conditions. Is sorted is true always here because I have put it in the source level. The expression also here from here also we can see, we can check the expression here.
Okay.
So derived column is over. So what I will suggest is just try with derived column and try with some expressions like converting from one data type to another data type, extracting the date from the date time column, adding a new column like this, concatenation. Just try with all types of expressions and then check if you are getting any type of error. You can come back to me for tomorrow's.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one is the merging transformation. So what does the merge does is merge transformation is used to merge two inputs to produce only one output. So it's very useful when we want to merge the error data path after handling the errors and normal the data. Like this is what we were talking of is. So there is simple source and destination. Okay. So in the source, what I will do is in the error output, I will redirect row. What is the table name? Did I input anything? Okay, let's put truncation here. Yeah, so what we have is we have the succeeded rows will be coming into this destination. The error rows will come into this destination. Now, if I want to have all together in one table itself, then I can merge them. Merge input 1. So what I'm doing is I am merging the error outputs of these two destinations. So this I can do. Otherwise, I can put it in a temporary table here. Here I can put it in a temporary table and then I can merge like this. So this is the way I can do. Otherwise, I can have a multiple sources, OLDB source 1. And I can merge. As merge input 1. This is a merge input 2. So here I can select the table. I don't remember which table I've selected here. Let me check address. Address type. Let me check. Columns. So I've taken two tables here. Okay, this is address and this is address type. I'm doing a merge. So what is it is expecting from me to do a sort key. As I didn't do
Yes.
any sort, so it will not allow me to proceed further.
Okay.
So it will, now what I have to do is go to the show advanced editor. Sorted is true. Here it is true. For which for city I've put it as sorted key. Okay, let it put it for row GID. For this it is not there, so that is why the state. Yeah. So each and every source for the merge transformation, it has to be sorted out. Any one of the columns to be sorted. Same thing. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I put 1, right? What happened? Got it true. Row GID.
Map.
Okay. Now the expression will open up for the merge. So what we see here, we have output column name this. So this is the output column name which will go into the destination database. So this is coming from my first input. This is coming from my second input.
Okay.
Okay. So here why it came as a ignore means as in my second input, I have a different table with different names. So that is why it is not mapping the columns here.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so what I can do is for this address ID, I don't have any address ID in my merge input 2. So what I can do is, I'm mapping with row GUID because row GUID is common in both the tables.
Okay.
So I'm mapping with that. And then
Okay.
I'm getting all the column names.
Okay.
All the column names. Has a name come up? No. Name will come up. Modified date. I can put it as modified date, as we have modified date in input 1 also. We can put it as input 2. Then I can do DB destination, create a new. So see, wherever I've added a new columns, it is taking the new names and the data types as well.
Okay.
304. Mapping. Okay, done. So I'm getting total number of inputs as 19,620, right? My output is also 19,620.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 19 plus 6, 14 plus 6,
Yes,
19,620.
ma'am.
Also 19,620. Let's check the
Ma'am,
data.
how we
Yes,
can take the multiple sources without merge join? Using SQL queries also we can easily extract the columns.
I didn't get you. Means
Yeah.
without merge, how we can do it? Yeah, we can put it as a single SQL, execute SQL statements are there, right? Task there we can use just joins, left joins, and we can get it as it is same OLDB, OLDB. That means a SQL Server database itself.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. For
So
example,
if
if
you
I
have
am
a
taking
SQL
the data.
Server, if I have a Excel sheet here, or if we have a flat file here, then
Okay.
instead of writing a SQL Server command, it is better to go with merge join. So here, this example what I have taken is a simple one. This is a table. This is also SQL Server table, and this is also SQL Server table with the same database.
Yes, ma'am.
So suppose I have the merge will be used when we have one SQL Server database table and one from the flat file, or one from the Excel sheet, or one from the XML. In that cases, instead of writing SQL command code, we can easily use this merged transformations.
Okay.
Yeah, we can write in SQL command also with open row set, and we can do it there also, not a problem. But instead of writing that, we can easily do it here. Not
Okay.
in this case, I'm just showing in the demo as we have less time, right? So that is why I'm taken this example. But normally with this type of example, we'll never use much. For
I
this,
have one more question also, ma'am.
yeah, yes.
Yeah. If I am taking data from 5 different tables using SQL query. Okay. After that, I want to take any operation on that columns.
Yes.
We need to take entire query again. We need to write entire query again, or SSIS that will create any view or table.
Okay, so if you want to write a query, you will be using a data flow. You will not come into the data flow task itself. Or you want to write a query here itself or in the control flow. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Like can tell you there are two options here. You can go. Where is transfer? Yeah, instead of going into data flow task, you can directly go into execute SQL task.
Okay.
Or even execute TSQL statement. Both of them is fine. You can go into
Okay.
this and write whatever SQL statement you want to write. Everything, the
Okay.
complex statement with inner joins, with the calculated columns, everything you can write here. Okay. So after this, you have to insert this into a table.
Okay.
So you have to insert
Oh,
into
oh,
like I can tell
okay.
you, I'm just let me complete this flow here. So you can hear what I'm doing is I'm executing a query. Then I'm inserting that query into a single table. That table I will use in a my data flow task. So every columns what you have created in the query, it will come up. You need not to
Okay.
write everything again.
Okay. Okay. Oh, one more go back to control flow, man.
Mm-hmm.
Here, execute SQL task, right?
Mm.
We need to create the uh, table for source columns, right?
Yes. So source columns, if it is the same database, you are talking of only database tables itself. Now, right now, SQL Server database. So you can write a like
Ma'am, I have one thing, ma'am.
yeah.
Actually, I have 5 tables. From 5 tables, I am taking the two columns. Okay, totally
Mm.
10 columns. I
Oh,
extracted total 10 columns. Okay, using SQL query.
mm-hmm.
Okay, after that, without
So something like yeah, you
I want
continue.
to do creating any table,
Mm-hmm.
do operations. Yeah, after that, without creating any table, I want to do operations on that 10 columns.
Without creating any physical table you want.
Yes, without creating any physical table, I want to do operations on the 10 columns.
Yeah, then instead of writing a query, it's a database tables, right? Instead of writing a query, you can directly go into the data flow task and put different sources there. So there is no harm in that, right? So if we want to write a query like this, inner join all the 5 tables and then get the columns here, and then it will ask like it has to be stored somewhere. Then only the data flow task will accept it. Otherwise,
Okay.
what we can do is we can put it from a SQL command text and go
Mm-hmm.
if it is a simple one. But what my suggestion is, in the SQL command text, instead of writing those many inner joins and left joins and all, it will be complex to maintain. So whenever a like issue comes in the future, it will very complex to maintain. That's what
Okay.
we never recommend here, to write a SQL query here. We can write a SQL query here and then just go to the columns and then like, I'll show you one example. I can take like this. So address ID, I can take address ID. Like 1 minute, I'll show you.
Mhm.
See, everything we can do it, but the problem is what we have to check is whether it is feasible to do like this. If there are any performance issues and all that also we have to check when we give a solution to a client.
Okay.
So here I've selected only 2 columns. Now you can join multiple tables here. We can join. Even we can parameterize it. We can put a parameters also. So if everything we can do it here and we can select C. Only I have got address ID and the city as my columns. Even I
Okay.
can concatenate here. Let me have this. And I can hard code one more column.
Ma'am, can you take 2 tables data here?
Yeah, I can take, but let me check the joins, or I can take the same table. It is fine because I have to check the joins and all that for the mapping. Here I take another B, A, B. So A dot. What is there in this table? Row GUID. Okay. So okay, it will ask. This is A. This is coming from me. B. This is it. Okay, fine. I've taken same tables just to get the mapping and all. You can take number of tables. Okay. Again, the time will be wasted when I search for the primary keys and all. So that is why I've taken the same table. So you can put multiple columns like this. You can select like this.
Okay.
So I've taken only 3 columns, 2 from one my major table A, 1 from the second table, join table B. Now if I
Okay.
go to the column section, I will have 3 columns.
Okay, ma'am. On next operation.
Next operation I'll show you. 1 minute. You want to see the next operations.
Okay. Next also executing SQL task.
Next operation, if you want to do any aggregate, any data conversion.
No, ma'am, no. Execute SQL task. Next also please take it. Execute SQL task.
Execute SQL task in the data
Yes.
flow.
Data flow, command script, OLDB command, OLDB command.
No, what you want to do after this?
For example, B.city column is there. I have a reference table for that column. I need to take the data from that reference table data into inserted, replaced as a city column.
Yeah, you can do it in the data flow task itself, right? No, again, why
But
you want to go to again execute tasks?
Okay, for one column, I have okay, lookup transformation is fine. For multiple columns, if I taking the reference table data for around 10 to 20 columns at a time.
Yeah. So you want to write a code there?
Yes.
So you can. That is what I'm telling. You can write a code here itself in the source command.
Source command.
Here you can write multiple number of lookups and all in a SQL command text itself.
It's a use query, right?
Shown you with one inner join. You can do multiple. Even you can build the query, pass the query. 1 minute. Show you.
No.
See, here you can write number of joins and all. So what
No.
my suggestion is, for the experience, what we will be telling is, don't write any type of commands here. Instead, what you can do is put everything in a SP and then execute that SP with parameters.
Okay.
This is the recommended way. If you want to write in all the coding, all the lookups and all the joins in the code itself, you want to write a SQL statement only, then write it. But put it in a SP. Create a SP and put it here. Let it be in the database. You just call the SP from here.
Okay.
And if there are parameters, if there is a parameter, then put a parameters here. Parameter section I'll show you in a separate session. We can put a parameters here. You know, right? Stored procedure, how to execute it.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I know.
Yeah, the same thing you can execute from here itself. So whatever the output columns in the SP, right? The same columns will be shown here. As we don't have, I didn't mention any SP, so this is not coming up. So whenever you create a SP and what is the result set of that SP, so those columns will be showing up here in the column section. Then you can do whatever you want to do without inserting into a new table, without creating into a new table.
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow you do it that case. Let me know if you face any challenge or if you want any help there. I don't want to see any table names and all. Just try with the flow.
Okay.
Put the
Tomorrow I
whole
will share.
sequence and SQL commands in SP itself. That is why that is what we recommend. Because writing a query here is not a big thing, but maintaining it's a problem. Whenever you get an error or any we have to fix or we have to like we got a new requirement on it, then adding there and then executing it and running it, testing it, it's very difficult to do here. So instead of that, we can do everything in SQL Server itself. Just execute the SP from here.
Okay.
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 So tomorrow try that case. If you're not getting anything, then let me know for tomorrow. I'll tell you. But remember, the only one thing is do not put the SQL statements here. Better to avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah. Only if
Okay,
we
ma'am.
will. Yeah, that's what we want to tell you. Simple statements is okay, but writing complex SQL statements better to put it in SP and then call that SP from here. Fine.
Okay. Okay, fine, ma'am.
So going into the union all transformation. Yeah, I'll show you union all also. Union all will never ask you to like wait. Before that, I'll just let me off. Okay, put it as false here. Sorting is false. I'm not sorting. Where is sorting? Okay. See, union all will not expect me to sort, but in the merge case, it was expecting me to sort the columns before I do. But union all will not expect this. It will directly give me the output names like this. I'll put one more source. So this is from this input and this is from this input. Okay. So this is how we can do union all. Union all is very simple. So one thing, can you tell me, there is a difference between union and union all. So in which we can get duplicates, in union or union all?
Union all.
Okay, good. So this is what the difference is. Here we need not to sort the data output, but what the problem is, output will be in unsorted data. We have to sort it again. And for the union all, we can have more than 2 inputs, like we can have in merge more than 2 inputs, 2 sources. I can add one more source here, but in the merge I cannot do it. Merge will accept only 2 sources, but union all will accept multiple sources. So when we have multiple sources more than 2, we go with union all. Okay. Yeah. So the merge join. So merge join is a joining condition. We do it in a SSIS that I'll show you. See, even with the merge join, this is a issue. Each sorted property must be true on both the sources. Until then we cannot do the merge join also.
Okay.
Put it as true, output columns, one of the column as sorting as 1. Okay. Now it will give. So here I have options: inner join, left join, full outer join. Now the 2 tables are disconnected. I can connect with one key column. As we have similar name in this table and this table, it has automatically accepted row GUID as a key column. But suppose I have a different name here. Then we have to join with that column. So these are the inputs I can select from. If I want to select explicitly only some of the columns in the merge join, I can do. From the source 1, from the source 2, I can get like this. Fine.
Okay.
This is the join key. So here these 2 tables are joined with the row GUID. So this is how we can do with the merge join.
Mm-hmm.
The next is multicast. Multicast. In the multicast, we'll not have any operations. We'll not do any operations there. It's just to replicate each and every. It's like the same table. What I'm getting it from the source. I just want to replicate in all the destinations.
Okay.
See, it will give one more blue line for me.
Okay.
It will give number of blue lines. So that means what it is doing, the same source, it is replicating and creating it. There's destination 1, destination 2, destination 3. Without any transformation, it will just replicate.
Okay.
I have one more. So there will be like scenarios where I want to replicate the same table, same data to all the servers. This will be more real time when there are different types of servers. Then I
Okay.
can it's like a reconciliation. I can put same data into multiple servers at a once. At a once, it will be inserted to all the servers. Okay, so this is where we'll be using multicast in the real-time scenarios.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Then we have a conditional split. So what is a conditional split meaning? Yeah, give me 1 minute. Okay, I'll be back. 1 minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, the conditional split, what does it do is it will separate out the data based on the conditions. The conditions, how we do in the SQL statements, we do with a case, right? If you remember, in the case, we do with a case. Even in the language C# or .NET, we'll be using a case condition. So it's similar to case condition
Okay.
in this SSIS. So the formula is, if I have a number of inputs, sorry, number of conditions, n number of conditions. So I have n number of conditions. Then my output will be n plus 1. So that means
Okay.
if I put two conditions, condition 1, condition 2. So my output will be 2 plus 1 conditions, 2 plus 1 output. I'll show you how it is. Though this is very much popular in interview questions, they will be asking you. So if we have n number of conditions in condition split, how many number of outputs will it derive? So this is
Okay.
yeah, to tell n plus 1 what where condition split. So here I can write expressions, conditions, output name as condition 1. It's greater than 0, greater than 1. Suppose this is greater than 1. So I have two conditions. Condition 2. So I have two conditions here. So I have
Okay,
two
ma'am.
conditions here. One condition is it is less than 10. This ID is less than 10. I've taken here as ID because I do not have any numerical columns. Okay. So don't get confused there. It is for the demo. That is why I'm taking one column. So I've taken
Okay.
this column less than 10 is one condition, and condition 2 is greater than 10. That means here I have two conditions, right?
Okay.
Now for the destination, so it will ask condition 1 or condition 2 or conditional split. That means it will divide into 3 parts. My data set, whatever the table is coming, the table will be split into 3 parts. One is with condition 1, that is the less than 10. One is the condition 2, that is the greater than 10. One is the condition which is not satisfying this both of the conditions.
Okay.
Split default output means with this is not satisfying both the conditions. So that
Ma'am,
is why
here
I was
any
telling n plus 1. So 1 will be extra every time. 1 will be for the default output which is not satisfying the conditions which we have mentioned.
but here there is no use of conditional split default output.
Sorry?
But here there is no use of conditional split default output, ma'am, actually.
No,
Why?
like here means I didn't get. So if I input the condition 1 into one table separately, I can put it as in a separate table.
Okay. But the data in the table must satisfy any one of the condition.
Data in the table must satisfy. No, it can be reason. There can be scenarios it is not satisfying any of the columns, any of the conditions. There
Okay.
can be a data. It is not like I have put 2 conditions here on basis of my requirement. Now I have 2 conditions. So there can be a data which is not satisfying either of these 2. This is what I have generically put greater than less than. Suppose there is a condition with equals to everything. So there can be a data which is not satisfying both of these conditions.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. I get it.
Yeah. So if here I have just put greater than less than, that is why you're thinking that there cannot be one more option. But if there is a more complex conditions, then we can have a data without which is not satisfying either condition 1 or condition 2. So here in this case, I'll not get any data into my default thing. It will be empty always, as you said.
Yes.
But there will be a feasibility for this. Always this will be there. The default output will be there, but will not have any data over there. That is what I'll show you. Yeah. So this is the default output. So this is my condition 1. This is for my condition 2. And this is for the default output. So as per what the condition I have put less than and greater than, I will have no data here. It will be blank. That's it. Understood? But every time this default output will be created, that this is the default one. So we have 2 conditions, 2 plus 1 output, that is 3. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So okay, so let's stop here. The time is done. So tomorrow, what we have left today, anything left out? Okay, till condition split. So tomorrow, data conversion, aggregate, row count, copy column, import columns. Along with this, I'll show you the tasks which are there in the control flow task also. Okay.
Okay.
Along with this, I'll cover those tasks also.
Okay.
Yeah, and let me know once you do the exercise of that, writing a query in SP and executing that SP in the source level.
Okay. Ma'am, but I did not receive PPT and yesterday class videos.
Yeah, I'll send you today. I'll send you all the day 4, right? 4 classes PPTs. I'll send you today.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.